Biodynamics is based on biodiversity, spreading that biodiversity as wide as we possibly can. The concept of terroir is first and foremost with us, so we do everything we can in this vineyard to allow it to express itself through the plants, the soil, the site, the weather, everything.
We take into account the lunar calendar, we take into account what gets produced on the earth, and more specifically natural compost, and really treat the vineyard as if we were treating human beings with plants or homeopathy.
Here in the garden and the vineyard, we strive to have as many different species at play at any given point in time as possible, because when we have these checks and balances created through the diversity relationships, we're able to get away from the need for pesticides and fertilizers.
Using the environment to treat the environment, building an ecosystem which is not only self-sufficient but as well resistant and resisting all outside influence without the need of synthetic product.
If you're bringing in can 17 nitrogen and pouring it all over your vineyard, it's not natural, and so you're not going to get a natural expression of your site, and you're not going to capture what you were trying to capture when you planted the vineyard in the first place. We're currently in our garden. We're growing 75 plus things at any given point in time, herbs, fruits, vegetables. We also grow biodynamic preparations, which I use as part of the biodynamic process. In our biodynamic plot, we have valerian. Valerian is naturally high in phosphorus. As a preparation, it provides that benefit to the vines, helping to allow the vines to cope after a frost event. This is yarrow. We insert it in a compost pile as a buffer to help nutrients become available in the compost and keep the compost itself healthy. This is chamomile we have here, using the compost pile to help balance nitrogen release, and we'll apply it as a tea in the vineyard after a very, very hot period to help the vines recuperate. Silica is a moisture collector, a desiccant. Mix that in a solution and then spray it on the vines, and it helps the vines exist without fungus through more moist periods. That's pretty neat. In between each of the plots, we plant various beneficial medicinal plants to kind of break up the monotony, provide some biological diversity.
Today, we cannot force nature. Nature is, in fact, kindly integrating us as one of the actors of nature.
So here we have our beehives. We partner with Barefoot Honey, a local honey producer. In addition to being pollinators for all the various plants we have growing throughout the floor of the vineyard, the bees are very, very sensitive to conditions within the ecosystem. And if we have healthy bee populations, we know that our ecosystem is healthy, and it's just kind of a barometer for how we're handling the vines themselves and life in the vineyards and in the garden. Yeah, we're here in our beneficial insectary. There'll be different things blooming here at any given point in the year, depending on what time you come. It helps us maintain populations of beneficial insects in the vineyard on a year-round basis. So when the leaves fall in the vineyard, the bugs have somewhere to go. They'll come here, overwinter here, and still be here next year. Alyssum is a perennial blooming plant that grows pretty much year-round, and it's a great basis for the insectary, because other things will come and go, but alyssum maintains itself, and it's a great plant for beneficials like green lacewings, minute pyrate bugs, the beneficials we really want to have here in the vineyard. Being an organic and biodynamic producer, we don't mind a few weeds. You can see we've got some weeds here on the berm. Weeds are diverse plant biology. We use undervine agitators when weeds become out of hand. They'll work underneath the soil, actually lifting the weeds up, cutting them off, and allowing them to decompose right on the berm. So, each weed is a wealth of organic matter in itself, and in possession of valuable nutrients that are released after we cultivate the soil and allow it to decompose right on the vine row.
It's not scientifically proven that biodynamic makes better wines. I really believe, ultimately, what is important, it makes true wines, authentic wines.
So santé, hein? Santé.